Good evening, everybody, and good early morning. Obviously, our dear friends from Australia inside. As I said, I am back. I have disappeared for the last couple of weeks. Do apologise a bit, um, but we had a holiday and a break, so it's cool. But we're all back now. So we'll just wait for everybody to get on because I know I surprised everybody uh, by saying we was going to be on tonight. Um, so hopefully, I mean, I know Charlie is in the background there. We'll call her in a minute. Hopefully she's got herself a drink, a cup of tea. Because I said, if not, uh, myself and Charlie will just have a chat anyway. It doesn't matter. Because that's the idea with this show. And obviously, if you miss it live, you can always go back. That's not a problem to me. Right, where are we going? Because once again, yeah, as I said, we had a couple of days off. Went to Amsterdam, to Holland, where we used to live for a while. And yeah, just went well, as they always do. But obviously, twice as expensive as you think. So here we go, Charlie. So yeah, you're on now. Over my shoulder.
Oh, you froze. Sorry.
So I know our dear friends are with me because I'm coughing at the moment, which is always a good sign. So while we're here a minute, I'm waiting for it. You did a couple of readings or a reading this week, so you don't have to tell me how. Obviously, the information, because obviously the actual reading is private to the person that you read for. But the big thing is how did it feel? Well, sorry. Let's start again. Hopefully, you called in your guides to start with.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
that's because I know that the reading went well, so you obviously you must have done everything correct to work with your guides. So you opened yourself up. You invited them in. So how did obviously the information flow feel?
It was positive, I think. For my first one on my own, I think I done pretty well. I suppose I cheated a little bit where I done it with a familiar face, so I think that helped.
No. See, that's wrong. Wrong. No. Familiar faces are even worse.
Oh, see,
Because
I
they
thought
have.
doing it.
Oh no, because they have this expectation.
Oh, okay. See, I looked at it differently, where I saw it as a bit of a cheat, but I went easy on myself for the first one. I have got another one booked in, but we're doing that face to face.
Brilliant. So how did you find the information flow? I working with your guides. I say guides in plural because you never know who's going to turn up on the day.
They put me in a situation where it could have been on. So one person was fine, and then someone else come in, and she's like, "Oh, that could be one of three." So I was kind of tested like a little bit to get more information to separate, because I believe I'm right, their passing conditions were similar. Their initial was the same, so it was going in further to get that information. And it was nice because Billy Joe was kind of patient. I was taking my time, just trying to be really cautious of listening as much as I could to get the information that they were giving me. But yeah, they
So
did make me
so
laugh.
when you came, good evening, Heidi. We were just talking about you earlier. I was going. Heidi won't be on tonight because she's on holiday. But she just good evening. Yes, so she just said that she's watching, obviously from Torremolinos. So hopefully
Cool.
you've got the weather because obviously leaving Cornwall with the rain, brilliant. That we have it for a couple of days. Oh, cool. Yeah, because it was good, obviously, that they did test you where like three loved ones or three females coming together.
Yeah.
Shall we say. So how did you get out of that? Sorry, I won't say that.
I
How
put
did
the
you?
fort I put the fort up and asked. I can't remember what information it was they gave, but there was something that was said. Oh, I think it was someone smoking that they smoked, and then she was like, "I know who it is now." So I asked for something to break
Pacific.
up. Yeah, to separate them, and only one of them smoked.
Brilliant. Because that's what you have to do. If you're in that position, you did exactly right. It's like send up a thought and say, "Come on, guys, we got three people here. The loved one is a bit confused. Let's have some pinpoint evidence."
Yeah,
And that's when I will myself will throw it back, and they'll give me a date of their birthday or the month that they passed, or etc. But
yeah,
they'll always give you something that will that will pinpoint them. And as your sitter said, yeah, she went, I know exactly who you mean now.
because I think there was a fire around this person as well, so she could take smoke both ways, as in smoking physically and a fire. So she definitely knew who it was for, so it worked out all right in the end.
Cool. So how did you feel afterwards?
I felt my energy levels were kind of buzzing, but I felt quite proud that I had done that on my own and kept it. I think it was around 45 minutes, so I kind of kept it going. I did feel quite proud of myself, to be fair.
Which is, but you know what I'm going to say to that. But no, you should be proud of yourself, as you should be proud of the way that you worked with your guides, or the connection that you've got.
Yeah, as in I was proud of all of that because I'd done it on my own without you prompting me.
Yeah.
Last time it was you asking the questions, whereas with me, I'd gone into it on my own. And when I was in that deep end, I had to get myself out of it.
Which you do, and
Yeah,
this is why we've had conversations over the years, over the months, and the people that are watching or listening that want to get involved in this. At the end of the day, unfortunately, if you do a large event, you've got to say, it's entertainment purposes only.
yeah,
Strictly because it's entertainment. But with that gives you a license on this side of life to play a bit,
mm,
if you know what I mean. So you can get yourself out of trouble,
yeah,
because and you've seen me, and the people that are watching that see me, work. There's not very rare you get 100% all the time nowadays.
yeah,
Because sometimes you'll mishear an S for a C, and those type of sounding words. So, like if
yeah,
you're getting a direct link, they'll say C, and you're like, well, is it the ocean sea, or is it seeing with the eyes, for instance?
yeah,
And then they'll go, oh, but then you got that you can get yourself out of it,
yeah,
and people to watch. The sitter is fine as long as they know who it is that's coming through.
yeah,
And this is what I stress for all of my people, all of my friends. That, and when I said to you the other day in a text, I believe, or messenger, I think it was before, and I said, no, our job is to prove existence.
yeah,
End of story.
yeah,
The reading, the message is extra.
yeah,
That is a medium's job. And unfortunately nowadays it's a bit of a grey area, because they're like, no, a medium should know about my boyfriend, a medium should know about my husband, should know about my job. Me personally, I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a crap about your husband or your job. once again, if I do, prove 120% that I am talking to your father, talking to your mother, talking to your husband in spirit, that's our job done.
Yeah.
You know, because when you get into it, you will get into a relationship. You will get, Gran coming through and going, your husband's a, you know, um, not yours. I'm just saying this. I'm just trying because my guides are having a laugh because obviously I haven't been online for a couple of weeks now, and they're going, yes, it's Thursday night, Des. You can use words that you you shouldn't do. But I don't know whose Gran is coming in and saying that their husband's a tosser. But you know what? But but they will. But then once again, if before you prove that you are talking to that Gran and that Gran used to swear, and that person in the word of spirit, that's what she would have said. Then that's brilliant because they'll go, God, that is my Gran. She wouldn't give a damn. She would just say it as it is. And this is what we've got to get into when we're working with guides and we're working with loved ones in spirit. And that's for the people that are watching and listening and want to get into mediumship. That's the gem. And if you see them on TV, if you see the old style mediums, please don't see. John Edwards and stuff from America, great, but a lot of them miss out that. And as you and as I've been saying to yourself and the people that are watching, and you've been doing it, if you look at Doris Stokes, those are old school. Gordon Henderson, I keep harping on about him, but he's lovely. He's got lots of stuff on YouTube for you guys to watch and to pick up. But they'll bring the personality through.
Yeah.
And once again, it's bringing that personality through that, that creates, or not creates, but completes type of thing, the sitting.
Yeah.
And once again, this is where I come from with mediumship. We work with spirit, and as I said to everyone, I don't work with the sitter. I don't really. Of course, I love them all and I do care for them, but when I'm working for them.
Yeah.
And not for the person in front of me, but the person in front of me thinks I'm working for them.
Yeah.
And they'll want you or want any medium to tell them what they already know.
Yeah.
And this is the great thing about readings, about sittings, and about humans. And the people that are getting into mediumship and doing cards, etc. 9 times out of 10, that person will want you to tell them what they already know. I.e., that their life's good, or they're going to get a new job, they're going to get a new car. That materialistic way of thinking.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, no. If they don't want to talk about your job, I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You see, and plus, I always say, you're not paying me to tell you what you already know. Because a lot of people, you will use mediums, or will use clairvoyants, or use psychics as that type of that buff, not buffer, but that second voice to say that everything's okay.
Yeah, and live their life by it sometimes, don't they?
Exactly, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you what you already know. I'm here to tell you what you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why I put a post up a while ago saying, good clairvoyant, because he'll tell you everything that you don't know.
Yeah.
That you're afraid to look at.
Yeah.
Because once again, that's.
You said before, haven't you, when people come at you about, say, relationships, like they're asking questions about the relationships, and I'm sure it was you that said, but you already know that, otherwise you wouldn't be asking.
Yeah, exactly. You're wasting our time. Not in that type of disrespectful way, but you are, because
you know the answer.
that's it. But they're just afraid to come, because once again they're listening to themselves.
Yeah.
Because that voice, their guide, is saying you're in the wrong relationship. So this is a
Yeah.
good example of this conversation. Their guide would be going, get out, get out, type of thing. But then they want you or me or whoever is watching to, to say exactly what their guide, or if you want to go down to what their heart is saying.
Yeah.
Because we would say it's spiritual and it's somebody speaking in their ear, but they may go, oh, I just don't feel right, I just don't feel that I'm in the right place, etc.
Mm.
So a lot of the times with readings, with then that's why they call them readings, where I call myself, when me and you do stuff, we call them sittings, the old school, because
Yeah.
then it doesn't, because then, as you said, you had 4 loved ones that came through, but that is our job, is to make sure that they know that their loved ones that have gone before are totally fine and okay.
Yeah.
And this is where people on this side of life get a bit confused with that, because they're like, no psychics are supposed to tell me when I'm going to meet my next boyfriend, what colour hair he has. And fine, there are some people, some clever, some that can do that.
Yeah.
And you've seen it on Facebook, and I have as well, where there's a couple that go, I can take I can take a not a picture, but I can draw or give you a drawing of your next partner and stuff. Once again, it's don't know if it's a scam, because obviously with Facebook it's hard to tell, but obviously everybody goes, oh, that's exactly like my husband now.
Yeah.
On the spiritual side of things, I don't really see how they can get that information, but
Yeah.
they do, so hands down, obviously. But that's not what we're here for, because we had a lovely message years ago, and somebody just messaged, and she goes, well, you guys don't stop what you're doing, because you're the voice of spirit.
Yeah.
And this is what we've all got to remember. We are the voice. Without you and me and the people watching that want to get involved, we are their only way of communicating.
Yeah.
So that puts it up another level. Yeah, another level of importance.
Mm.
Of how we're doing stuff. And this is why when I always go on platform or do a church service, I always wear shirt and tie, because I was always told, you're representing spirit.
Yeah.
You have to look the part. Because if you don't look the part, nobody's going to look at you anyway.
Yeah.
You
And
see.
the Doris Stokes and the ones like that, the old time ones, they were very like that as well, weren't they? All suits. She was obviously dressed and smart approached.
Yeah, because once again we have to remember we're dealing. So I roll my eyes, because obviously we talk about it every week, where the loved ones of all the souls are getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
So like the old days, it would be your typical grandparents and grandparents, great grandparents, mum and dad.
Yeah.
So they would be that they would be the generation that would relate to suits.
Yeah.
But now I'm just being reminded, it's like, yeah, but people are younger nowadays. With the hoodies, with the hoodie top, etc., etc. But I would never do with like a large event, on stage with jeans and a hoodie. That's never going to happen. Excuse me, as you said, I got this. Excuse me. That's it, a spirit in my throat, as we said. But yeah, so now I'm really glad that obviously it went well, and it's just and you got that like energy buzz afterwards,
Yeah.
because once again it's going back, it's the flow. you know. So the more you give out, the more you get back. It's the same
About, yeah,
with when you start Reiki healing and stuff. And anybody that's out there are healers. You know, you know that you can do a healing, and afterwards you won't be able to go to sleep for ages.
yeah.
You know, because once again, it's that return that they thank you.
Because
Yeah,
you used to say that, Jen, when you come here for a sit-in, a group sit-in, you wouldn't be able to sleep till early hours of the morning, would you? Because you said now
yeah,
you get that
that
like buzz back in yourself.
yeah, that's it. You're up there with the clouds, you know, and it's like, yeah, I can't go to sleep, did it? So the people that are just joining us, we're just talking. Obviously, Charlie did her first one-to-one this week that went extremely well. So we're just like talking and going over about like how she felt, how it went, and it went extremely well. And of course, you did thank them afterwards, didn't you?
Yeah. I thanked my guides and their guides.
Yeah. Which is cool
And their
because once again,
guides.
it's just, and this is Charlie. She's just basically we've been friends for a while now, but actually over the last couple of say years, we've been say giving you small bits of information,
Yeah.
so you can gradually grow and learn bits about it. But it's just the last couple of months you're like, no, me and you've got together, and it's like we're going to do this. We're going to push you now to get out there, and literally within well, ever since we started this show, which is this is about the fourth or fifth, I think the fourth show.
Yeah.
And so once again, I'm trying to prove to the people that are watching, once again, it's not rocket science. Because I haven't told you anything that you've like been confused or that you've been thinking that's way above my way of thinking.
No. And I think it's really just listening, Des, isn't it? And like trusting. No matter how something may seem to you, it could make perfect sense to someone else. So it's trusting to say what you're thinking too. And I think that's probably the hardest thing for some people to overcome.
I do agree there, and I'm not saying it at all being sexist, but I find men, or me, I found that the hardest.
Did you?
Well, because being a man, and once again, I'm not saying that it's a sexy thing, but because we like being in control.
Yeah.
See, so when Spiro used to talk to me, I used to send it back all the time, and they're like, "No, we told you once. We're not going to tell you again." And I'm like, "Yeah, but but you have to tell me again because I'm. They're like, "No, Des, just say, it's like, that program. Say what you see, or say what you hear." And as you said, it doesn't matter how stupid it sounds. It will relate to that person. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, then you've misheard it, and then you just send it back again, and they will give you a picture with it, an image with it, that then you can understand what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
And and what once again is brilliant. Some of the things that you will get to say. And when you get those like gems, that will make your reading, all your day, because you'll go, how did that's bloody brilliant,
Yeah.
because my claim to fame was with this bloke, yeah. Anyway, yeah, his granddad, because he used to be a truck driver, this gentleman, and his granddad always used to travel in the truck with him. Have I told you this one? Yeah. And of course, with being in a truck, you can see things when you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the granddad told me what the trucker oversaw.
Right.
And this truck driver was like, what? And I was like, yeah, you saw something that you shouldn't have when you was on the M5, you know. And he was like, what are you talking about, Des? And I was like, well, there's two people, like, colluding in the car, you know. Uh, yeah, and his jaw dropped, and he was like, but I didn't even tell my wife this. What, you know, how the dickens do you know? And I thought, well, your granddad was there right beside you, you know. And to me at the time, I was like, I can't say this, I can't say that. And there was like, no, you have to. And I was like, no, this is so wrong. What's going on with this meth? But once again, it proved, you know, not a shadow of a doubt, you know, that somebody was with this truck driver at that time.
Like, yeah, because that's not something you see all the time, is it, happening?
No. And hello, Julian. Hello, Cheryl as well. Some new faces. Cheryl Howard. Yeah, as I said tonight, this is just when we obviously chat about spirit and how to get people working with their guides. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been obviously talking about how you know how to call your guides in and how to work with them and how to treat them as a normal person that you can't see. Which is really, really bizarre, but once you get the knack of it, it's so good. So the last couple of weeks we've been talking about how when spirit connect with you, they give you a sign, i.e., a sore shoulder if they got the hand on the shoulder. Charlie has tingly hands because the energy starts to flow, and she's like, okay, here we go. So the last couple of weeks, obviously, that's what we've been talking about, how your guides show themselves, you know, within your life. And then obviously Charlie had to she didn't have to, but she did her first reading this week. So we're just talking about that, which is good. And hello, Joy, as well, because hopefully the people that are watching also do this, because I would like to hear, you know, from you if you've been working with your guides this week as well, or if you want any tips, you know, of how to, you know, because my big thing and Charlie's is that we're doing this on a Thursday night to tell people how easy it is, and how straightforward it is. Really, I know I've been doing it for a long time, and it's like, well, you know, water off a duck's back to myself, but it can be to you as well. You know, and it doesn't take a lot. It just takes, it just takes some thought. It just takes you being in a quiet space so your spirit friends can communicate, and then you just treat them as normal. You know, so every day, you know, when I get in the car, I go, guys, we're going to have a safe trip. You know, let's have a safe trip. Da 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 da. And lo and behold, 9 times out of 10, all the traffic lights that you go through will be green. You know, and they'll try to keep you flowing as much as you can. You know, and then as soon as you get to green lights, you just go through them and go, oh, cheers, guys. And they'll go, okay, now we've got to work on the next set. You know. And this is the way that me and Charlie, or I'm trying to, you know, tell Charlie, it's that simple, you know. And these people, these other clairvoyants that are out there, trying to, you know, make big money out of you by telling you how difficult it is and how you've got to go on a bizarre course to make this happen. And I'm the other guy where I'm like, you don't need that. You just need yourself. You just need peace and quiet, and you just need your guides. And it is that simple, you know. So hopefully, hello Chris, I miss you. Don't worry about Chris, mate. Don't worry. I've missed it as well. No, sorry, Chris from Australia just said, oh, I've missed your shows for the last couple of weeks. I have as well, mate. I've been in Amsterdam and had COVID, so they're my 2 weeks. You know, so don't worry, you won't miss a thing. But once again, we're just trying to tell everybody. So yeah, like how you can do it. how you can link with spirit, so you don't need us, and this is what we're trying to paint, that lovely picture of, if the whole not the universe, that's on a larger scale, but if the whole globe was linking in with spirit a lot more, not keeping religion out of it, because to me spirituality is a religion, and it's classed as one, but once again, I've always been grown up to know it's a way of life, so yes, you can go to a spiritualist church, yes, you can go to a Christian, you can go to many churches, and once again, they have their they have their meaning in life, because that's the community, it's the linking together, it's helping each other, that's to me all churches do, but I work on the other way, where to me, my relationship to my spirit guide is a personal thing, and it's the same with Charlie. She's got a relationship with her guide. Her guide will come and talk to me, vice versa. But I will never have the connection that Charlie will have with her guide, and vice versa. Because Charlie doesn't want to know about Great Bear. She's got her own, and this is what we're trying to, put out there on these Thursday evenings. So don't worry about that, Chris. You haven't missed much. Charlie did a really, really good. Actually, Chris, I don't. Hopefully, you are still there from the other side of the world, because I know that you're into your investigations. And have I still got? Oh no. Oh, yes, I have. Charlie took this picture locally, or somebody took this picture in the local village that Charlie lives in, and it's to do with a old monastery that's just outside of the village that a hermit used to live in. I know, cut a long story short, you may be interested in the lady in white that's just now appeared at the top of the picture. So yeah, that's taken about 6-7 o'clock in the morning with a neighbour, and then obviously they knew what Charlie was up to, so when Charlie went to school with the kids, they're like, you've got to see this image. So yeah, so have a think of that, Chris. Which is brilliant. So once again, if anybody is linking in with their guides, hopefully it's working with yourself as well. But as I find, and as you'll find, Charlie, with starting, how, and it's like this with all of the human race, it seems, that people would rather pay somebody to do something than do it themselves.
Yeah.
Which is the sad thing now. Where it's like, no, I'll pay somebody to wash my car. It's like, but you can wash it yourself. And it's like, yeah, but I'll pay somebody. And it's like us, where we're putting, say, the effort in to connect with our guides. People find that hard, because they're like, well, yeah, but Charlie, you learn, you connect, and I'll just pay, I'll just pay you,
Yeah.
and we're like saying no, and like yourself saying, no, you don't have to pay me. Within a couple of months, you can do this. You do it yourself.
Yeah.
And this is where myself and Charlie and whoever follows me, hopefully, that they have that that thought pattern as well. Because the thing is the more people that connect with spirit, connect with their guides, the greater the human race is going to get. Because we'll all have the information of the universe. Talking about that, yeah. Have you had any weird thoughts then recently?
Who?
Yourself?
Not really. Weird as in, what do you mean?
Universal thoughts.
Not that I've noticed.
Okay, that will start. So it's good.
Yeah, not
As in, yeah, just those little drops where like, okay, why am I thinking about aliens more now, or why am I thinking about time and space in a different way?
yeah, not as such like that. You know how busy the house is at the minute, and as that's like a drop-in thought you're talking about. But I said to Ross, we need that routine where I can have time to sit on my own because I don't get it with Willow in the day.
Yeah,
Of a night time, it's that settle down, and your body's tired anyway. So we've made that commitment to each other that when he comes in from work, I'm going to start getting my quiet time. But I haven't had anything like a drop-in thought weird or anything yet.
brilliant. Because that's the best thing now to come is to, because what will happen now is the more that you work with your guide, obviously the more you'll learn from them, obviously about the
Yeah,
past, and then
yeah,
you'll get these weird, like you have over the years, but they'll come more and more now. Like, why have I got this strong connection to, like, Native American history, or Egyptian history, or
yeah,
I mean, these are the stereotypical type times, the 17 to
yeah,
1800s, the fifth or the 15th century was obviously 1450 odd was the witchcraft, 100 years, so that, yeah, so you'll start getting those type of thoughts, or like Atlantis, if you ever had a past life in Atlantis and stuff. So these are
yeah,
the informations that they'll start dropping into you now.
yeah,
And then you'll go, okay, okay, well, okay, mate. I'm not obviously not talking about your family, but if you're watching TV, you'll be going, whoa, no, let's watch this. And then again, but it's a history program, and you're going, yeah, but I feel, I feel connected. So you'll get
yeah,
these connections,
yeah. No, I
um,
haven't had anything like that.
which will with your past life. So, okay, thank you. I was about to say, yeah, because okay. So how obviously, once again we always say, knowing about your guide, the most important thing is knowing that your guide is there, and not knowing there's not a need to know, a lot of their past, because they will tell you when they're ready to tell you. Okay,
Yeah,
but I have, because obviously we are here, and cool. Sorry, I've got a blank piece of paper, and I was about to say, yeah. So have you been in? Have they showed themselves to you, as in
no,
within your mind? Obviously not full.
I
So
don't. I don't know if it was like 3 weeks ago. I was getting like an image of an outline, but all I could see was like a white. But like what noticed and stood out was like a hat figure. Like the feathery kind of.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's it. I only had that like once, and then nothing since that.
Ah, cool. Yeah, because like the word black, like black hair, so whoever it is who's got black hair that's coming through. Um, and how do you feel about the character? I was about to say the character's age, and as soon as I thought the word character, they're like, "Oh, that's cool, cool." Is that what you think of us now? We're characters, so that's why I had to laugh at myself then. Because do you think that this is obviously a young energy, or a mature energy that's coming
I'd
through?
say
Hmm.
maturer energy. I think we had this conversation a few weeks ago, didn't we? And I thought it was a older male,
Yeah.
and I still think that.
No, I do as well, which is good. So we're on the same page there, it's type of thing. So what I'm trying to do now is not test you as such, but just because we're here, we're live, we're just having a chat. So I'm just trying to open, yourself up a bit. So we're not going to do any like readings as, readings. But while you're there, nice and quiet, obviously ask the gentleman to come in. And just out of interest, really, just see if you can pick up on anything. If you can, not a problem. We're just chewing the fat on a Thursday night.
I get random really, but fire around the house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I understand. Yeah.
But then with fire, it's weird because I get water straight after, but like streams of water, like river water kind of thing. So
Yeah.
um, I get. Did you hear that, Des?
No.
Because you froze them. Like a community of people, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have had them then, like teepee or like tents. Like that's what I'm seeing in my mind.
Yeah.
Um,
She was on fire.
I've just been given horse.
So you used to ride a horse.
Are you feeling that too, or am I just talking utter rubbish?
No, yeah, no, you're not talking rubbish, but the fire and the water um, took me back to when I was hypnotized by Alan Jones, who I've done a couple of shows with. But if you look online, Alan Jones, lovely guy. No, he hypnotized me once because I was really interested.
Yeah,
And it was the fire and the water, because obviously, because the way that you was portraying it, it was like a stream,
yeah,
and obviously with the horse and the teepee and the fire, you could say, okay, it could be a Native American, with what he's doing, with those type of four elements.
yeah,
But as soon as you said fire and water, I was taken back to this, from to when I was hypnotized, and
yeah.
it was a weird past life that I've never had before, or I've never never been. Anyway, long story short, I was in a fortress. A big fort. So it's like the old days, obviously, where they had the four walls, but the village was within was within the fort,
Yeah,
because obviously you get the fort and then you get the castle. So obviously the king or whatever is in the castle, or
yeah,
as I said, the landowner, and everybody else lives in the grounds of the castle. And lo and behold, somebody, a tribe, or well, it must have been a tribe anyway. Long story short, they come and set fire to the place.
right.
They burnt the place to the ground. But I survived because I hid. I was in the well,
Okay.
which then brought the water bit into it. I know that you saw a stream, but as soon as you were saying fire and water, I was like, no, I've been here before. So I don't know if you're. How do you feel about what we're talking about? How's your guide? Not really say reacting in a bad way, but are you feeling no, or are you feeling okay? Des, continue, or or The old, no, Des, nothing to do with me, mate. You're talking out your backside.
More the continued dance.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Then I will. Then I will. Cool. Because because obviously they was all on horseback. So if that is the case, then your guide may have been obviously of that time. He may his tribe may have been the attackers.
Right.
Um, no, he didn't. No, no, he didn't. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So just ask your guide then. Sorry, just send up a thought saying is not right. Once again, there's no right or wrong. So I'm not going to go. Am I right? But am I? Sorry. Right. Is your guide putting his thoughts into my head? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So where do you
Is
come
that
into
what
it?
you got?
Fun?
Is that what you got?
Well, yeah, because he's given me the stuff. Because as soon as I was saying that, so what we're doing for the people who are coming in and out is obviously we're just now, Mr. Self and Charlie are talking about her guide, and he's introducing himself to us both, and then with what the information or the image Charlie got related to a hypnotherapy session I had years and years ago. We're talking like 20 odd. Anyway, long story short, obviously we're feeding off of each other, i.e. me and Charlie and our guides. And Charlie came up with fire and water, and a horse, and obviously a teepee. So we gathered he may be Native American, and that obviously brought me to this flashback of me being in this type of fort or this area commune that got burnt down, but I was down the well, so I saved myself by jumping down the well, and then I asked Charlie obviously if her guide was implanting his thoughts into my head, and she said yes, and what was thought or what I was is that he saved me. So he found me in the well.
Oh, okay. Des, I don't know why, and I don't even know if it's a name, but I've just, when you were talking, I heard Alakai. 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 I don't even know how you'd spell
I was
that.
about to
What,
say,
you know,
you're gonna spell that.
I'm going to leave in a minute.
Al, let's see, Al, I, Kai, Kai. If anybody's watching, hello here, mate. I'm Marin as well, and Chris is back. Yeah, Alakai. Okay, cool. If anybody can actually think that they can spell that, pass that on, and I'll put it into Google and see what comes up. Al-I Kai. So I spelt it as
Oh, you've done it.
L-I-I-K-I, but it's not Alakai. Alaki, Alakai. But no, that's brilliant.
How would you say it? How would you have pronounced that? I got
Alakai. No,
Alakai.
I would pronounce Alakai as Alakai, because I have heard it before, that name, Alakai. I'm only saying that because obviously he's here with, well, somebody's. Okay, God, he's a strong person, very large, very big hands type of thing. Yeah, because when I was down the well, I was quite young. I was only a child. I was like
Yeah.
I was under 10 or something. So then if he saved me, I would have gone back. Gone back, and now I'm ringing horse. So I'd have gone back on this horse. Okay, so that's where we've met. Okay. All right, brilliant. Okay, right. Because now we can talk about soul groups. This is swiftly moving on. Please keep with us, guys, ladies and gents, because the theory of soul groups, i.e., the group that we have when we're in the world of spirit, is that obviously we within that group there could be, as I said, about roughly about 15 to 20 souls that you share most of your lives with. And as I said before, there's a theory about, is that one soul that's in many parts, or is it many souls making up just a group? So there's that. On the fence, myself, I would say there's many different souls, just making one group. But as I said, there's a school of thought saying it's one soul in many parts. Okay, depends. As I said, I'm not interested if that's right or wrong. We'll find out when we get upstairs. But the important bit is obviously that these little soul energies, obviously, that link to make a big soul group or one soul. But as I said, to me, I think it's many souls because, as I said, we talked before about one soul can have many parts. So you can have many lives at one time, which rests easily with myself than one soul energy in different parts having different personalities.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Cool. Just shout out when you're not, because I'll try to go through it again. So what I'm being told now, and that's what I'm smiling about, because it's all linking in. Because then, if your guide and me, or our two souls, shared a relationship on this side of life, like me and you are doing now, and me and everybody that is watching as well, you would be part of this group. Most of my friends on Facebook would be part of my soul group, to be in my life now. You see, so it's just interesting. So that would tell me then. That would tell me then that you've met my other mates as well. But not in that lifetime. Alakai. I'll run that through Sue. Megan, yeah, I know, thank you. Oh, I love it. I love it when different spirits and different guides come in just to say hello. Because I was thinking about my dear friend Sue, and the people that are watching may know Sue Searle, brilliant clairvoyant and medium, and a lovely soul. But she's got a clairvoyant. One of her guides called Megan. We worked over the last 30 years together, and she's just popped in to say hello. So I know. And how does this rest with you? That obviously you would have shared a life then with one of my guides.
That feels like are you asking me if it feels like a yeah or a no with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels true.
Cool. And for her to be coming in once again just to check up on me so she can go back into it would then be around because when you said the fire and the water as well earlier on, and you said the stream. Okay, it was me that said, obviously to me the water meant the well, but you said it was a stream.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously our dear friend that's just popped in to say hello. Obviously, her life. We know. Oh, Christ's sake. Okay, Okay. But I thought that was somebody else. So I'm just having a conversation with them now. Okay. Maybe. Okay. All right. Because my link with Megan, which is Sue's guide. So please, whoever's watching this, please once again stay with it, because it'll make no sense to you, but hopefully it will make sense to you eventually. As in, because Megan, obviously the dear soul, she was a wise woman, and I was her brother.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I didn't
I
know
was,
that.
yeah. I was a brother in the 15th. Well, it was the 14th century. Sorry, it was the 15th century, but it's like 1480 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I was a brother. Okay. And this is where everybody's going. What if, Des? You've gone to Amsterdam. You've been coming back smoking pot. You've been cracked up or something. And I'm like, no. Honestly, this is brilliant. Because obviously back in those days, and the reason that she got found, shall I say, or got is that because back in those days I couldn't write because I was a young boy. Because there was three of us. There's Megan, myself, and somebody else, and I thought that we found who it was. Anyway, but long story short, I was the one that obviously, because I was old and I couldn't speak, or, I could speak but not write, etc. Um,
Yeah.
but I had to put an X on a piece of paper, okay, to say where she was or what she did or what have you, okay.
Yeah.
And then she got obviously burnt at the stake for what I did,
Right. Okay.
but there was no way of getting around it in that time,
Yeah.
you see. And that's where the fire and the water comes in your frame of reference.
Right. Okay.
Okay, because with the water, and I know we're talking originally about your Native American guide,
Yeah.
perhaps, because I don't. The weird thing is, I don't feel that he's a Native American. I feel he's more European than American. So this, to me, is like more Norse. I'm writing down because he's big, he's strong. To me,
Yeah.
he's more of a
I said to you last time, didn't I, when you said describe it, it's like big hands. He felt like a big
yeah. To me, he's more
bull.
Norse. He's more Viking
Right.
type. So I'm not saying he is, but he's that type of like Hun type. I'm being told being taken over to Attila the Hun. So it's like northwest. Never eats ready wheat. The east, so it's the old Russia. Um,
Right.
and oh god, the bloke who cut off everybody's head, was that Attila the Hun? No. Oh god, the vampire Dracula was named after him. So if anybody is with us on that, they'll be able to tell us. Hello Beverly, hello Joanna. Um, but yeah, anyway, long story short, just have put those thoughts out there, and he may tell you whereabouts he came from. But with the fire, obviously, if you was around at that time, i.e. the 15th century, you may have got burnt as well, because obviously with the water you would have got yeah, or your guide would have got ducked. So okay, no, sorry, right, the Norse is right, sorry. So I'm not got confused, but yeah, because basically with the water, obviously, as you know, with the wise women, they used to dip them in the stream,
Yeah.
and then obviously if you floated, then you was a witch, or if you didn't float, you died anyway,
Yeah.
type of thing. And then if you did float, you was a witch, and then you got burnt afterwards anyway.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, that was where the fire and water was coming in, with the connection with Megan that just now came in to say hello, and that 1500s.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but with your guide, as I said, to me, the horse is the big thing, because I'm just like ringing like horse and Norse.
Yeah.
So I do think that he would have been more or less that side of the world. And then I've drawn a line down. So I think, to me, fire and water is another life,
Oh, okay.
but when we talk about where we talk about the horse, we talk about, as you said, him in tents, like teepee type tents,
Yeah.
living in a community. Like, once again, please tell me if you feel a bit wrong, but you shouldn't. And
Yeah.
obviously, fire and water. They would have cooked by fire, and there'd have been a stream anyway. Okay,
Anyway. Yeah.
but to me, it'd be interesting, right? And for the people that are doing, we got this anyway. So yeah. So woo. So if anybody is interested, obviously this is dowsing. It's really handy, because obviously you just get a yes or no answer. Yeah. So obviously with myself, because I've been using it for donkey's years, that's it. If it goes clockwise, it's a yes, and then I'll go stop, and then I'll go give me a no, and then it will just spin anti-clockwise. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. It will just spin anti-clockwise there, and then you just go stop, and then it will just go stop all by itself, and then just pull it up, and it's cool. So then what we do is we go, am I talking rubbish? No. Okay, cool. I'm not talking rubbish. Cool. So, so with the fire and the water, is that to do with is that to do with one of my past lives? Yep. And it's to do with her guide saving me. Yep. So we'll look into that later on. Yep. Yeah, so your guide, so we've been together in spirit. Yep, okay, cool. Are we right by saying, he's from the east? Yep. What name did you say?
Alekai.
Alakai. Do you think is
Yeah.
that his name? Alakai. Yeah, cool. So me and Alakai have been together in a physical life, in a soul groupy life. Yeah, cool. Charlie part of our soul group? No, because you're not. Yeah. Okay, no. Okay, cool. So me and him have met. Myself and Megan and Alakai have met. Yep. So it's Charlie. Charlie's met Great Bear. Yeah. So Charlie's met my guide. Yep. In the same 1500s? Okay, cool. Right, yeah. So you met. So Great Bear, who was you then? Oh no, okay. Right, he was a counsellor. So he was a right. Do you like castles? As in, do you like I know.
Like seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel familiar within them?
Do you know, I haven't been or seen one for so long, but I always used to love seeing.
Mm. Yeah, because I always know that the Great Bear, even when he was a Native American, he was one of the councillors.
Right.
So there was a group about five, was it 5 or 6? No, I don't know. I think it's eight or seven clans I won't say the word clan because that's relating to your guide, tribe, and they all had counsellors, and they'd all like meet together, and
Yeah.
like they do now, type of thing. The prom, or to keep everything happy.
Happy. Yeah.
So they wouldn't attack each other. They'd all meet up at a big council, all get around a fire, and chew the fat instead of killing each other.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So this is what we're getting here with yourself, okay? Where you would have been on. So right, cool. So we're talking no, because I want to go back early. We're talking 13, 1310, 1320. So so go back 1310. So so about 1310ish. Okay, so this is the medieval time. So you was with Great Bear about 1310. Yep. So that's where you met up. So what relevance does that mean bringing it into this life? I know. Well, once you can see like the best from, you're one of these people obviously that can sit back and see the best from both sides. So I'm very surprised that you haven't actually got into counselling of some sort, or being that MP type person.
Never interested me, Dez.
Not, yes, yes, as in standing up for other people's rights or wrongs.
Oh, I stand up a lot. I try and stand up for kids' rights a lot, but that's a bit different, isn't it?
No, it's the same thought process,
Process.
in that way. Because I can just see you, obviously, in a castle scenario, where you are around that table. You are like a part of, you're a part of the court, but not in a I've got to get off with the king type look or way.
Yeah.
Because normally, if you're part of the court and you're female, no, because you was male anyway. You were male in that life. Thank you. It was you an earl, a prince, a lord. Okay, you was a lord. So you had land. I know, and in this life, that's why you haven't got and any land at all. But yeah, you've got land in that time, which is brilliant. So my Great Bear would have worked for you. Yeah, so he would have worked for you in that lifetime.
Oh.
So it's cool. So you can ask and work with them both anyway.
Yeah.
So it's cool. So then you was friends with him, I was friends with yours. So we're all part of the soul. Yes, we're all part of the soul group, which is good. Yeah. So that was a bizarre history lesson, but I'm happy now. I can drop that down. So we found out obviously your guide's name. We found out more about him, and we found out obviously that me and him linked together, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And and for the people that are watching, and thank you for staying with us, because once again, for the followers, I won't say for the followers, that sounds really bad, but for the people that watch and stuff, especially, I don't know if you are still Chris watching, because he's coming in and out, but I'd like to get you on at some point, because obviously I believe that we can do the same with yourself and see how how you're connected. Okay, because once again, people that are watching my page, and Charlie's as well now. You will be connected in some way, so it would be interesting to find out where the connection is or how the connection ties in, and then perhaps we can do more about that understanding, because everybody's like looking and going, Des, yeah, but that's 600-700 years ago. Who gives a little, like, who gives a damn now, because we're in like 2024. But our job is to to tell people, or to inform, shall I say, about how big about the different times, okay, and about the different, what we're supposed to pick up from every lifetime. All right, and this is what working with spirit will will make you more aware, shall I say, of these connections. Okay, and we, as I was told, we was going to do like a little special type of show, and perhaps this is it, where we find out different soul groups, how we all link together, how we all have linked together, and see where that goes. Because once again we understand how we link together, then spirit once again will start putting those images in to our mind, about how we used to work together, how we used to live together, how we used to connect. And the big thing is, for me and Charlie and people that are watching, it's trying to find what we're supposed to be doing, what our agreement was before we came here. Okay. And that's the big thing about our life, is we've all made agreements, and it's great that we've all got to find out what the agreement was, so we don't have to come back the next time and do it all again. Because this is what me and Charlie are trying to do, is stop us going around that loop, around that stupid loop again. And if we can do that by going into past lives, by creating, or because we're not creating, we're understanding the connections that were already there. Okay, because we're not creating the connections because they was already there, we're just understanding. And then if we can understand what we were supposed to be doing in that life, or what we didn't do, then perhaps that will give us a greater understanding in this lifetime about what we should be doing. The tumbleweed just went across the screen then. It was like, where are you going, Des? That's really deep and meaningful. But perhaps this is what this show, because my darling wife will always say, what we're going to talk about. I say, we'll let spirit. We will let spirits. What they want to talk about, what they think that you should know today or tomorrow. And this is why I don't write any notes down. I just leave it up to them. And if they want to go obviously into the past lives, and understanding that connection, because as I said before the show, or at the start of the show, because it's coming up to 9 o'clock call, and Chris said, totally understand what you are saying. So yeah, so Christine, is that we'll have to get you on then, okay? Because obviously I feel that you're part of this as well, because you follow and you understand, which is brilliant. If not, we can just use the dowsing next week. Not a problem if you don't want to show your face, but it will be interesting, to see how the people that are following, the people that are watching, also connect. Because if we can do that, there's tell me a Facebook show that connects everybody on a soul group level, please, because then I would watch it. Okay, and this is what we're doing, and within that is before I was talking to Christine there, we was talking about Charlie. Sorry, I've just lost my thread then about the beginning of the show, about your guide and about how you interact, but then if we can learn about how we all have interacted together on a different level. So once again, we're talking about like spirit guide, then we're talking about spirit groups, so if we learn all about this that's above the spirit guide, we can connect more with that spirit, because we would understand why that person, why that entity, why that spirit is chosen us to be
Yeah.
our guide in this lifetime.
Yeah.
You see, and it will just bring us all together. I mean, we're talking, obviously. People talk about weeks, months. I talk about 100 years and 1,000 years. Is my top of is history.
Yeah.
So if we're looking upon that, and if we can go back, like we already just popped back into the 1310. So it would be good to see what and Charlie or myself 1310 may be able to do some research here in the UK. Just type it into Google and see what earls were around at that time, or what lords. Um, because yeah, you'd have had some land at some point. But to me, everybody go, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything, but it does. That's the thing, because once again, our history doesn't start when I was born in 1971. My history started when, obviously, at the beginning of time, over, I won't say a quarter of a million, it's been more than that. So you're talking millions of years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we can all work on that time scale, so basically, I was born when the universe started, the same as Charlie, the same as you, the people that are watching and listening. 1971, was the only started my life, as in, the Cornishmedium. Before that, I've had donkeys, thousands amounts of lives. So yeah, it will be interesting. So next week, because it is coming up that time, 10 minutes, but that's fine with me. And we may do that at next week. So anybody that is interested, please, come back, tune in again then, and we will start doing some dowsing. Because obviously it's a lovely small group that we've got, and the idea, with Charlie and with Tony, hopefully Tony will be back next week, is to look at these connections that we've all got together and find out why we're all here, as a group, and is it that we've all been in this group before, but it didn't work out the way it should, perhaps. Just throwing these things out there. I don't know why, but there. Because once again, have we have been all together. So it'd be very interesting to find out, where our lives have been connected, and we can just see how far, just where it goes, where spirit leads us again. They'll always tell us what we need to know at the precise time. And I've got a feeling with what is going on around us. So I'm not going to go into politics and all of that type of stuff, but just the behavior and the general energy that the world's got at the moment, where to me, you may tell me once again I'm talking out my backside, but to me it's quite negative at the moment, and there's it's just a negative energy, and obviously we've got to do it the other way. So was it again, we was around a key point of history, and we made the wrong decision that time. So perhaps when we're together this time, we can make the right decision. Because as I say, we all swap, swap sexes, we all swap relationships, we all swap like lives. So it would be brilliant to probably go down that avenue. Not good what's happening in it at the moment. And Christine is saying yes, and she's happy to join, just to see where her path comes. So please, Chris, remind me next week, because obviously this bit of paper will probably be thrown away or be just basically. I collect all my random notes. I just leave them on the table, and it's really funny. I just got lots of scribbles, and everybody's like, and I'll come and I go, who's been playing with my scribbles? But anyway, we would love to do that. That's it for you, Chris, next week, because then what I'll do is I'll set up another camera, obviously, so we can actually see the pendulum a bit easier and a bit better, and we'll have Tony back next week, fingers crossed as well. So yeah, so it's a case of, hopefully now the people that are watching, the people following, is getting used to, once again, every day talking to your spirit guide, every day connecting with them, every day saying hello to them, and then we will then hopefully over time linking with them and see how how they've come into your life and why they've come into your life, and vice versa. And at the end of it, we will all hopefully be able to, once again connect with our guides, hear our guides, understand why they come into our lives, because I think this is where people are missing. I'm going on a rant now because my guides have come in, and they're like, this is, once again, it's the understanding about why and when, and this is why a lot of clairvoyants, a lot of groups that are going on, especially like with people under the age of say 25 or 30, that's what they're missing. They're missing the big picture because they're just looking inwards. Where me and Charlie, or myself and I'm trying to, Charlie and her guide, we're trying to look outwards, so we help everybody. So on that note, we are going to do I will use my dicing rods and see get the same. Brilliant, Christine. see, Christine. See, I will do that again, Christine. Anyway, but no, but that's brilliant, Christine. As I know now because it's Chris, and now I'm thinking, but no, brilliant. If you can join us with that once again, experimenting. I'm up for playing. To once again prove existence, to prove that dicing works, to prove that we don't need these massive tools that you get on Amazon for 40 quid, and all of these. I want to. So if anybody that's watching got simple experiments, simple plan, please tell myself and Charlie. Charlie is in another part of the UK than I am. So once again, there's 300-400 miles apart, so we could start doing these little simple experiments. And yeah, Christine, brilliant. If you want to dice as well, and as you said, if we both come up with the same answers, which once again we should, but if we can do it in a physical way, i.e. crystals, dicing rods, then we've got something. So hi, and Bex joined us as well. Let's hear all that, because Bex, but if we can do that, Chris, that would be good. And once again, anybody else that is still with us, because it has been a bit deep this evening, but that's what, not saying that's what spiritualism is all about, but we are talking about obviously a different way of life, a different plane of life, a different type of universe. I mean, it's all in the same universe, but a different spirit world. That once again we know none of us can prove until we get there. We will try, myself and Charlie and decent mediums and clairvoyants, we will try to prove existence, and we'll try to prove that there is a plane of life that we all go to, but I only say but, we don't 100% know until we get there ourselves. So I'm not going to say that, but in the meantime, that is what I believe, and that's what obviously hopefully people that know me also believe, and together we'll hopefully be able to do some marvelous work, and as the man who wrote the stars about 2 months ago about this joining friends and doing a special show, perhaps this is it. But then if you can come up with, anybody is watching, if you can come up with, obviously, if you find anybody that is doing this, i.e. connecting soul groups on the soul level, please tell us. because I don't think they are. But on that note, I will wish you good night, being 9 o'clock now. And thank you for joining myself and Charlie. And
Thank you, everybody.
this is it. So fingers crossed, Charlie. Have you got a reading this week?
I'm booking it in. It's either be what are we Thursday? Either this week, next week, before I see you again. It will be.
Cool. So, people, we know what will happen the first time that we meet next week. We'll see how the reading goes.
No pressure, Dez.
It is. And your guide and my guide will tell me anyway, so it's cool. And once again, sorry, I'm just sending it up because this is how we communicate telepathically, you see. And this is my big thing. Because if mine and Charlie's guide can start speaking and tell me what Charlie's doing, etc., that's another ball game. That's another massive thing that we can start to open up and play with. But we all need, once again, to work with your guides first and foremost. Once you've done that, you can do anything. Well, thank you ever so much for listening and for watching, and we'll see you next week, guys and girls.
Bye bye.